Oh, hey guys. Welcome to the Hank Russell invitation. Y'all have just interrupted me from learning my kendama. Shout out to Anthony Babyface Blackburn for that idea. My guest this time, he was just with me a few weeks ago, and we're going to talk about his recent bout he just had. I know very little about it, and that's why he's here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Mr. CJ Kapo. What's up, man?
All right, nice to see you guys again. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. So, what happened?
All right, so I didn't win. I didn't win the fight. Um,
Eh,
I The ref stopped the fight. I think midway the second round. Um, Me and my corner weren't happy with the stoppage. I wanted to keep going, but I'm grateful for the experience, and I got fight of the night, so I delivered the show just like I promised. Um, but definitely a learning experience for sure. Um, I'm grateful for everybody who was around me and taught me, um, all the stuff that I learned leading up to the fight. Put into my knowledge and me evolving as a fighter. And yeah, I definitely can't wait to get back in the ring. I lost, but definitely tasted blood, and I now I know what I really want to do, and that's step in that ring. For sure, for sure. I
and
definitely,
it was.
yeah.
Go ahead. No,
Oh,
and
no,
it was a mixed martial arts bout, right?
yeah. So it was kickboxing. So
Kickboxing.
see,
That's right. That's right.
yeah, I'm used to MMA. I'm used to fighting on mats. I'm used to fighting cages. So
Mm-hmm.
I stepped in the ring. Immediately when I stepped in the ring, I kind of tested the ground, and it was very soft and bouncy, which was something I wasn't really used to. Um, I wasn't able to plant my feet like I felt like I was getting the hang of it, leading into the second, but ref stopped the fight. So I definitely been training at other gyms now that have rings. Um, and I'm being more accustomed to the environment. Because when I stepped in the ring, it felt like I was fighting on carpet. It felt like I was fighting it with socks on. I was my feet were sliding. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I definitely need to get used to. I'm taking
Yeah.
another
No.
opponent though. He was technically sound. His basics were very good. Um, so I literally right after the fight, I saw him outside, and he approached me, you know, um, and we shook hands, and I said, "Bro, we need a rematch," because I walked out of the ring knowing what I needed to do. The whole fight, literally, as the ref and the officials were calling the fight, I was sitting there just replaying the whole fight in my head, and I'm like, I just couldn't get my feet underneath me. Like, it would have been a totally different fight. But I'm still glad I was able to perform the way I was able to perform. Uh, Shout out to my opponent. He did his thing. Um, so the rematch round two, a rematch is in the works. So hopefully he could commit to it, and if he can, I'm definitely stepping in the ring with him again for sure.
When do you think that could happen?
November the 12th. November the 12th.
That's the
I'm
next
stepping
one.
in the ring with somebody November the 12th. So
Right.
yeah, so hopefully it's him. Hopefully it's him. I talked with the promoter, and the promoter said he could make that happen. So he seemed very, very hopeful for. He gave me hope. So
Right. I mean,
I've been preparing. So I'm already, I already feel like I'm ready. But let me get accustomed to that ring. But I know I'm gonna be ready. November 12th for sure, for sure.
what do you think you could do differently this time
Um,
without giving away the game strategy, so to speak? But
no. Something simple I feel like which I've been working on is head movement. To be honest, I'm more of like a fighter that likes to just I could eat punches all day, My opponent caught me with a clean 3-piece, and the whole entire, like, all of the fights on the card, I think everybody was else getting knocked out. He hit me with a clean 3-piece, and I remember, like, that just kind of like made me more into the fight. Like, I got an adrenaline rush. But he hit me with a clean 3-piece, like, bah, 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 and I was like, oh yeah, this is like, like, I got even more amped. But yeah, my style is more of like eat punches and, like, get inside and, like, hit you as hard as I can. But just because I wasn't able to plant my feet, I wasn't able to really, like, throw my strikes as hard as I wanted to. Really
Mm-hmm.
throw some power. When I remember a few times when I tried to throw something, it was like my foot would just slide, and so I would just keep
Mm-hmm.
going with it because, I'm throwing my momentum forward. I do my kicks, do some kicks, box a little bit, but my shots were really powerful. But again, taking nothing away from my opponent, he um he knew his basics, so he definitely he's a great opponent. From what other the fights I saw on the card, I would definitely want to fight him again because I can see why we've won fight of the night just because of just it was a really good matchup, and it was very interesting to watch. Very interesting. Out of all the other fights, I would say, because I would say most of them maybe seemed one sided, but our matchup seemed like, like I wanted to go the whole full three, but the ref, I guess because there were other fighters that kind of got knocked out, or things happen. They're kind of being extra cautious, I guess, or because as soon as he called one of the doctors over to check me to see if I was okay. But I remember
If,
when I ate that 3-piece, he said, "Hey, you take more punches like that again, and I'm calling the fight." And I kind of looked at him like, "What?" I'm like ready to go now. So I'm going, and I
yeah.
remember he threw a one. He was going to throw a 1-2, so I remember he threw the one, and he's throwing the one. I see it coming. He, like, kind of almost makes contact, and I see the two coming, so I duck my head under, and the two comes right over my head like that, and then he steps back and creates some space. I'm against the ropes at this time. He creates some space, and I remember I had moved to the left, and he didn't cut me off, and I moved to the right, but the ref was over there on that side, and I remember, like, noticing that, so I moved over to the left, and then I remember moved over to the right again, and then that's when we engaged, and then when he broke away and gave me some space, I was going to move towards my left because I noticed he didn't cut off the ring when I was moving, when I was cornered that way. So I was gonna use it as, like, a little escape route. But the ref came out on the left side and broke us up, brought me over to the side, said, "You're good, you're good." And, like, got my mouthpiece in, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then
If memory serves me correctly, this was the first time you said you had fought in a long time, though, right?
yes, 8 years, maybe more than that.
Shake off the rust, baby. You got this.
Bro, and this is what amateurs. This is why I'm like, like, I lost. Okay, whatever. Like, I'm not defeated. Like, I want to go back because, like, I know exactly what I need to do,
Mm.
and what the amateurs are for. This is, again, to see if you got what it takes.
Yeah.
And I definitely takes for sure. Again, getting the rust off. I went from doing, like, I wasn't even working out really. I was just working my construction job, but I went from that to 3 months. Well, the first month I was really just, like, trying to, like get conditioned again, I guess, in a way. And I wasn't even training for a fight. I just told myself I wanted to fight, and then 2 months out, I got notified that I was gonna have an opportunity to fight. So then I committed, and then it was basically about a good month of training, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, I wanted to train more. I wanted to train every day, but I had to, responsibilities and whatnot. But now I'm ready to go all in because um, if the only thing that was stopping me was, not being used to a ring, and now I see the condition that I'm in, and I'm elevating to as I spar with these guys, at a gym with a ring. Because as soon as I'm talking about, I was telling my coach, like my coach came to me as I'm sitting there just like plotting about, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and making a plan in my head. My coach walks up to me and he says, "You need to go to another gym," because me and him been training at the gym with just hard mats, and he's like, "You need to go to another gym." And I told him that's exactly what I've been thinking, and I explained to him what my whole thought process was, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you need to spar more, spar." And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. You got to work on technique.
"Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely."
I
And
mean,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
no, I was just going to say, I mean, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until they get hit.
Right? Exactly. And I had like, and that's the thing, like my style is somewhat based on, like, I've seen a few fighters that kind of fight like how I kind of fight, or how I kind of, yeah, I guess like my style in a sense, like, taking hits, absorbing hits just to get inside. So my, like, getting hit never really, like, broke my, and that's why like I replayed my not only my mind, like the fight, but I replayed my mindset, my emotions, how I felt, like what was going on with me during the whole entire fight, and that's when I realized I had what it took, because I wasn't in there, I wasn't frustrated, I wasn't gassed out. I was trying to adjust. I was doing the necessary things. I believe, like, third round, if I, once I got my footing, like once I got all right, like, but I should have had that moment of trying to, get used to the environment already before I stepped into that fight. Because if I would have had that moment, I would have been used to the, fighting on like a boxing ring, I guess you could call it, instead of like a
Yeah.
hard mat, which is what I'm used to, because I've been training really MMA, mixed martial arts. This is the first time I wouldn't say this is the first time I mean, I've done the first competition I had was kickboxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, but um, you know, even then it was something I wasn't used to, but that being my first fight, I had, I had so much other things going on. That didn't even register to me, So now I remember, now being in that ring, now it's a totally different experience. I'm just like, I remember just telling myself, wow, I was able to be in that whole, like, I was able to be in that, like, moment of, like, extreme, like, pressure, and still be able to think, and still analyze, and still understand what's going around me. Yeah, it was going on around me. Like, I heard the coroner speaking. I was able to process all of that. So I'm not like, it's not overwhelming. I have like, I have, like, I'm conscious in the ring. Now I need to just, like you said, work on technique, and I'm not and get used to a ring, and head movement, definitely head movement, because, like I was trying to say, my style is kind of like, absorb hits and move inside, but um, I I analyzing the fight, I could see how head movement would have done me wonders, and even in an environment where I'm not used to fighting, or I don't feel comfortable, like with my footing or whatever, being able to move my head in a certain capacity, greater than the capacity that I have now, would have served me wonders. Instead of me, trying to do what I traditionally do, which is eat shots, get inside, and hit you with a power shot that'll, put you down real quick. But in a scenario where that's not effective, where I can't do that, um, I need something else. So that's where, learning more techniques, like you were saying, and I guess this is the evolution of me fighting. I guess this is how it goes now. Learning more, evolving as a fighter, seeing what I need to do to become better, and all that. That's that's where I'm at now, definitely. So I'm enjoying the journey because I know I see my potential. I see what I could be. So um, and I really I like the fact that I lost this fight. I'm not gonna lie. I like the fact that I lost this fight. I'm not gonna lie because I not only did I see like myself, but I also saw the people around me. You know, are they still as enthusiastic about my journey, as I am, or do they still have the same confidence and belief in me as I do? Because I showed to them I haven't broken at all. Like to me, this is like okay, next one. But um, it's interesting. I got to see who was really like who really believes in me. And um, I told them. I remember after the fight, I sat down with like all everybody who came to support me, really, and the real ones who came to support me. We were able to sit down together. My coach, my corner, and all that. And and I told them I was like, listen, guys, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know exactly what I'm doing. I promise you guys, I know what I'm doing. I don't know what's gonna happen though, but I'm definitely willing to take this anywhere it goes. As far as it goes, I'm willing to give it everything I got. So, I'm I'm ready. I asked my coach, when's the next fight? He said November
It
12th. I'm like, all right, I want to see if I can get a rematch.
it seems like that you are overthinking it a little bit, almost, if that makes sense. I feel like that the mental aspect of it is always important, of course,
Yeah.
but I feel like that there needs to be a little bit more of a calm from you, because I'm hearing you talk, and I appreciate the fact that you're thinking about these things,
Hmm.
but at the same time, is there like a natural ability to kind of overthink things or let your brain itch all the time, so to speak?
I would say when I'm like, I guess passionate about something, I, I tend to put everything into it. So, um, yeah, I would say definitely overthink at times, for sure, for sure. I'm a thinker, so but there are times like like when I have conversations with people, like like you would say right now, hey CJ, you need to calm it down. I understand who I am, so when people do say that to me, I kind of like pay attention. I'm like okay, and then I inquire more because I am who I am. At the same time, um, I'm humble. If somebody wants to give me some genuine criticism, I'm never above any type of evolution because I'm not perfect. So, but yeah,
Oh,
if you say I'm overthinking, please explain to me um, what you observe, please.
well, it seems like to me that you're obviously irritated with what just happened. Nobody likes to suffer defeat.
Right?
And you just had the fight like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
It's almost 2 weeks, I would say. So this Saturday is 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah,
So what
almost.
I'm saying here is that I see a guy who is clearly irritated, which
Yeah,
rightfully so you should be. But at the same time, it was your first bout about 8 years. So you weren't exactly, you know, if you stay away from cake long enough, you're going to forget what it tastes like. And I feel like that because of the fact that you've stayed away from fighting so long, you forgot what it was at first. And part of that, in my opinion, as somebody who's been talking to fighters over the years, is to simply make all the things, you know, a little bit more relaxed and more, your training and just doing what you know best. And, hopefully you have a good corner that can instruct you properly.
yeah. So you're saying with 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 dealing with the frustration of losing instead of overthinking, try to make it, I guess, a little more simple and calm. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying that what you need to do, in my opinion, and this is a
Mm.
guy who, and I haven't fought in 18 years, so I have no room to talk.
Wait, you used to fight?
I did.
Oh, that's all. I gotta do some research about you, man. I'm sorry.
No,
But
no,
wow.
not at all. No, not at all.
But,
I fought mixed martial arts about 18 years ago. It was during the days like I forget, how old are you?
36.
Okay, yeah, you're not relative. I'm 41, so you're not that much younger than I am. Let's see, I was 23 when I had my last bout, so you would have been about 17 at the time. So, no, but the point is that I feel like that now that you got this out the way, and your coach is absolutely
Yeah.
right. You need to spar a little bit more, especially if you're able to. Especially if you're able to. I mean, I know you just got through having a fight. I don't know what the training regimen is nowadays. It was more Wild West 18 years ago, as far as MMA goes. Maybe not boxing, because we didn't have a boxing coach. We had a boxing coach who taught MMA, so to speak. And, I just don't want you to, like maybe by the time that you get ready for your next camp or whatever for the fight, that things will be a little bit more relaxed. But hopefully with the sparring, it'll give you a little bit more of a, I've been here. I'm ready to do this. I'm good. I mean, this ain't my first rodeo. I've tasted this honey, and now I'm, it's not a big deal when I get in there and taste more honey.
Yes. See, that's exactly correct. That's how. See, that's what I realized. Like when I was in the ring, all those feelings and stuff I was going through, and I wasn't like anxious or nervous or none of that, because I did fight before, so I wasn't like I wasn't scared of going in the ring and fighting. But there's really no anxiety. But um, all the thoughts I was having, and how I was feeling uncomfortable, and just not overwhelmed, but just unfamiliar, like you're saying, not you. I should have had that moment like a month or two ago, like you're saying, in sparring, where I'm actually like sparring and like recreating the event that I'm about to like enter. Because
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Sparring in the gym and being in a crowd. How many people was in the crowd?
um, say
Doesn't
maybe
matter. It's more than people that was in the
50,
gym. How many?
maybe like about I'll say more than 50.
Still, that's probably more people than when there was at the gym every time you sparred.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's different environment. So at least you got that out the way. You kind of you became a virgin again somehow, and you rebusted your cherry, and
Yeah,
now you're good, man. I mean, don't look. I wished I could have seen the fight. I really do, and win or lose or draw. I should have. I wish I could see all these fights. I interview guys all the time who my heart goes out to, but I just can't go. I can't see them all.
I understand.
I wish that some of these organizations would fly me out so I could do some sideline reporting, so I can watch the guys that I interview.
Yo, that bro, you should create that organization that sends people out to do even lives or anything. That'd be dope. I don't know if there's like a
I,
streaming service.
no, I couldn't create the organization. The organization would have to fly me out, sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
So, before I let you go, is there anything you want to say?
Um, yeah, I definitely want to say check me out again, November the 12th. Fight again.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're gonna interview me again before that fight, Hank, but if you want to, lock in with your boy and I'll
Dude,
do.
all you got to do is you could book me in between. I don't care how many times you book with me. I'll be there.
All right, say less, man.
I mean, if you got something you want to talk about before then, November's 3 months away. So if you want to talk about something before then, you have my permission to, schedule these events with me. I mean, I've interviewed one guy 3 times, man, and it's in the last 2 months. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So we're cool, man. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing. I'm glad to see that you got your first fight out the way. I know it didn't go the way you wanted to, but I wish you the best of luck. And contact me soon.
But definitely.
And if nothing else, man, it's good to see you as always.
You too, man. Appreciate it. Talk to
Cool.
you. And
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hank Russell Invitation. You know, you could have been anywhere else you wanted to be in the world, but you decided to join us here today, and we so love you for it, and we are appreciative. Until next time, y'all have a pleasant day.